Day 8. I was a few minutes late when the server started today. The server had already been filled up from players. I was put on a black screen with a number that said queue position. I needed to wait for a few minutes to log on to the server. The past few days have been very eventful. A few of the small events can be listed together. The creator made a second video about the server, bringing even more attention to it. Many people donated to the developer to keep the server running. As I had predicted, a new consumables auction had been completed. It was the most competitive the server had ever seen. Hundreds of thousands of credits in total were put into the system by all the players. The entire time, the developer was working harder than ever before to keep everyone afloat. There were many server crashes and restarts, many lag spikes, and many complaining players. Still, they worked without any tire to ensure playability and tolerance. They announced that soon they would need to greatly increase the size of their staff team, knowing it would be a challenge to find enough loyal and trustable players. They had not yet found a solution to this. The most notable event overshadowed all of these. Yet another history-writing decision had been made, although this time by the mass of players. On the fourth day of the explosion, I had been attacked by a large amount of players being led by an upper-class player I referred to as the Steel Wielder. That same player had now made a faction meant for the mass of players to join, even if unofficially. Even now I do not feel safe repeating the name of the faction, so I will give them the placeholder name of the Voiders. The goal of the Voiders was very simple: to destroy as much of every world on the server as possible. Their only motive seemed to be that because they could, they had to. The Steel Wielder had two goals. They would first search every part of every level, not to evaporate, but simply to bring to publicity. The driving force for this was that they did not want any player to have any secrets, any hidden bases or stashes. This way, most upper-class players who weren't careful would fall into poverty, giving the Steel Wielder an undeniable advantage and a respectable amount of control over the mass of players. The second goal of the Voiders was to find and evaporate every spawn location. On some levels, there were thousands of set locations on each level, taking quite a long time to go to every single one. Though not futile, considering the player base was now also well into the thousands. However, other levels had only one set location, meaning almost all of the Voiders' efforts would be directed at those singular locations. At the time, I did not know how to react to their actions. Later, I went to one of the set locations. There I found nothing but a bedrock floor and a bedrock ceiling, just like I had on level 0 days prior. I brought with me one of the other 6 upper players, who we decided to call judges. We stared at the undying abyss that was released upon the area. There was a lower class player nearby, possibly a voider themselves, but we decided not to attack them. It wouldn't accomplish anything. Instead, we pursued them for information. It seemed there was nothing we could do against the Voiders.